guys, how's it going? Just thought I'd do a bit of a update on some things that are coming up with these energies at the moment, and a bit of a personal share, choices and reactions, responding, how we're moving through to these new energies and frequencies on the planet, and how they're going to affect us in terms if we're not making, I'm going to say, the right choices. I mean, duality, there's no right or wrong, but choices more aligned with our heart and our soul. And in the past, we've had plenty of chances to kind of feel it, but go, oh no, I'm still going to stay in ego, or I'm still going to do it this way. And we resort to the old patterns and we don't make the change. But now these energies are different for the rest of the year. So March is a huge month, lots changing. Lots impacting. It's the new year, new astrological year, but I feel it's more aligned with the new year, with everything. And I never ever used to resonate with December being the end of the year, and 1st of January being the new year. And what I'm finding with people around me, just friends and chatting, and I'm overseas at the moment, so I've just been chatting with a few friends back home, and their situations in their lives and what's coming up from them, for them, this is similar to me. So it's a different situation, but it's all the same energy. And I say that as in because energy shows up the same, but through different situations. So, and one of the big theme is our choices. And so when I say our choices, I was talking to a friend yesterday, and it comes down to we can be in situations that we don't like, and it's causing us stress, worry, PTSD, anxiety, that's a big one, just unhappiness, depression, whatever it is. And we remain there because our programming and what we have personally programmed into our own mind is from a conditioning of a situation from the past that causes us to keep reacting and responding and navigating our life in that way, how we've always done with situations. And so we tend to keep doing it instead of stopping and reset and go, hang on, before I make this choice, before I actually do this, I can get out of this. So I had to say to a friend at the end of the day, when I talked to her yesterday, I said, at the end of the day, everything you've explained to me that you're going through, that's giving you this mini breakdown and all of that, I said, let's just reverse that and let me give you a scenario of how you can actually free yourself from that today. And I gave her this whole scenario, and I flipped it, and she actually saw, oh my God, it is my choice. I can do this one thing today. I can make this phone call today. I can make this decision today, and that will change everything in my life, because it was like a domino effect, right? She had this main thing going on, and then once she changed that, it had affected. It was like an octopus with these toxic tentacles that it had affected every part of her life, plus her mental, her physical, emotional health. So I said to her, and the only thing that was stopping her from making that decision and what she was kind of moving towards and fighting for was all based around an outcome of money, finance, stability, stuff like that. And I said to her, which is not unusual, because we choose jobs in our life that way. We choose partnerships, stability, things that we think keep us stable. We don't choose from our heart and soul. We choose for money. We choose for pleasing others. We choose for being validated by our parents or our kids, it could be, or our friends. We don't choose what we really know from our heart and soul and our wisdom, which we're already, if we're connecting to that and we're already seeing a higher perspective, then we're already in a higher consciousness about our life, our energy, our situations. However, we're still choosing lower consciousness decisions and actions from a lower consciousness frequency. So in her situation, when I flipped it and showed it to her, I was giving her the choice. I said, I can't make the decision for you, but know that if you made this decision, you're free. And you actually, she's got this whole incredible future of things, of just like the universe has lined these doors up, and all she has to do is open them, but she can't open them and walk through them until she closes this other one. And she's battling this other one. And I had to explain to her, do you see it that way? Do you see that once you get rid of that, these doors will open? That's your future. And you're holding on to that. So you're holding on to an old door that does not, an old system and an old situation and spirit. And she's saying, oh my God, why isn't this ending? And I said, because you're fighting and controlling what you want the outcome to be. However, there's many outcomes. If you let go of what you want it to be, that opens up the door for all these opportunities. And she could see it after I said it, but when she was stuck in the mentality because her legal team had said, no, you should do this, or someone else had said you should do that. Friends around her said, like, don't let that happen. Don't. And this is what happens when we listen to so many external people and situations, that we actually don't even see different perspectives. So she said to me, I'm going to get off the phone from you and I'm actually going to make these changes in my life. She said, because I can't live like this anymore. And what that shows me is that so many people, and I've done this myself included, we're in a situation and we just keep going and going and going and pushing and pushing and pushing, but we have to stop and go, actually, what am I pushing for? And if it's aligned, and if it's what my soul is guiding me to do, I wouldn't have to push. It would happen more easily. So what am I actually pushing for? What am I trying to control? I'm controlling an outcome that ain't happening. It's being prolonged and prolonged. And what people don't realize is they're in the control of a system and other people when that's happening. Until you free yourself from that, then you are a freed man or woman to make the choices you want to open these other doors. And so this had come up a few times with a few people, and it also has come up with myself in the last few weeks. Go and have a look at I actually should have said at the start, I'm actually now, YouTube are letting me do community posts. I haven't been able to before. So I put one in there today. So I'll be writing deeper things in there, things that I won't be putting on my IG. So if you're interested, follow along and go and check out my community posts. But I put one in there today, and it was about adventure. Since I've been on this holiday the last 3 weeks, and the adventures and how it's changed me. And you'll read in there, I talk about a few things. It's not that long, but and do keep up if you're interested in listening and reading my work. Do often check back there, because I will be putting more in. But what I wanted to share is that myself, the last 3 weeks, different situation and scenario, but the same energy. It's where I got myself in a situation where I thought I had to do these certain things, or I had to make myself available in this situation. And huge realizations have come up, these energies through February and March, and this is what it's supposed to do. And I suddenly had a completely different perspective. And it's stuff that I knew, but I just couldn't shift that last part. I was going back to little old patterns, old thoughts, old reactions, old responses. And what I've been starting to do is stop and going, hang on, if I'm working with somebody that is in a different frequency to me, I'm not going to react and respond lower and do the back and forth and do what we used to do. I'm going to change that. And I'm only responsible for myself. We're not responsible for others, but in making choices, we're making choices where we put ourselves in the world, who we mix with, who we partner with. And I was going to mention this with partnerships as well. So there's a lot of people that are in partnerships, relationships that are not serving them. Friendships as well, but for this time I'm talking about actual romantic partnerships, or like husbands, wives, partners, whatever. And they came into that relationship when they were on the lower frequencies of neediness, filling each other's cup, maybe running from a situation, running from their heart, maybe running from themselves, really is what it is, because you're running from your heart. Your heart's showing you things, the mirror's showing you things, running from not doing your inner work, your spiritual maturity, all that sort of stuff. And so what that means is you automatically run and make choices from the patterns that you have in the past, or the patterns that you know you've been taught. However, we can blame that. We can blame the inner child healing, wounding, and all that sort of stuff. However, excuse the siren. However, if we feel in our heart deeply, we are all connected. We all can be so deeply connected when we choose to be, when we choose to slow down, center, balance, meditate, go for a walk on our own, whatever. We all have the capacity to come back to our heart. And we know what we feel about a situation to give us more freedom. It could be someone else that our heart belongs to. It could be another place we want to live. It could be a job that we want to take instead of being in the job we're in. And but for the purpose of this, I'm going to talk about relationships. And a lot of people out there have chosen partners based on where their consciousness was and their wounding was at that time. And this is for both of them, because if you were vibrationally aligned, like to be together, you have to have been vibrationally aligned with your wounding at that time. And if your heart wasn't telling you, no, I know this is wrong, well, your mind was telling you and your heart was telling you knew it was wrong. But if you weren't choosing your heart and saying, okay, won't be with anybody, okay, and I'll go off and I'll heal myself and I'll da-da-da, then those people that have come in those relationships, they're all breaking down now, because with the Earth's frequency and awakenings around the planet, and what's happening is it's simply pushing and pushing and pushing everyone to the point to face this stuff. And these people around me that I've witnessed going through these things, these are people that, although can be pretty connected, they're people that pretty much fight tooth and nail having to do any inner healing and looking at their wounds and choosing a different path. And I've watched these energies and the universe bring in some pretty drastic stuff into their life to make change. It's like a real force of making change. And this is what's going to happen this year, and even get more. And the more people try and hold on and hold on and hold on, the more stuff is going to happen that is just going to show them drastically. They can't hold on. They have to let go, and they have to, they have to give up trying to fight it and control it and stay in those situations, and they have to make a different choice. And a lot will be coming to the realization that, oh, I actually have a choice. I have a choice. Like my friend that said, oh my God, you're right. The only reason I'm in this, I can blame this other person, I can blame this system, and I can blame this, and this. However, and that's all valid, that's happening, but I can't blame anybody for being stuck in this spot, because this is what she said, because I'm actually choosing the path to do that. So we all choose the path. We can all take ourselves out of those situations, and we're programmed and told that we can't. That, oh, how many people do you know that just say, oh, I can't do anything about it. This is just life. This is how. No, it's not how it has to be. It's what you're choosing to remain in, because out of fear of making changes. So with relationships, we're going to see a really big change with people that are with partners that are not aligned with them, with their soul path, that are not their either soulmates or their divine person, or just their, and they don't have to be soulmates, but just their conscious partner that they have signed up to do life with. And I choose relationships because moving forward, the consciousness of new earth coming in, whether it's partnerships, romantic partnerships, friendships, whatever, everyone is going to have to be upgrading into a more conscious, open communication, open connections in terms of how we communicate. So relationships in general with everybody are going to be changing, and massively. It can't be any other way. And anything that is not real and authentic is going to be shown. It's going to be shown to yourself. It's going to be shown to the person that you're not being authentic with. Anything is going to be shown. And this is where we have to make the change then, because we're going to have to make, it's like the universe is going to force us to make the change, because it's not that person or situation. It's just going to come to the surface. And if you're living in a situation, a relationship that's not authentic to you, to your heart and to your soul, it's going to be shifting and it's going to be changing. So I'm bringing that energy through today. It's kind of interesting because when I started this, I was guided to go on and do a video and share, and it was about what I was talking about, making choices and all of that. And then like Spirit, my higher guidance said, my higher self said, let's use the example of relationships, because I've known all about this for so long. A lot of us have, but we don't actually push or speak about it a lot. It's because when you think about it, everyone on the planet wants the same thing. Every single person wants love. Every single person wants to be in a more loving relationship with a partner, with family, friends. Love is it, right? And it helps us to, when we are coming from an authenticity, coming from our heart, our soul, transparency, we can be open with each other, crystal clear communication, all of that, then there's so much more freedom in that. And that's what we're coming to, the divine spiritual freedom and essence of the person we are, the spirit in our body. We're tapping deeper into who we are as a light being, our crystalline light bodies. The fact that we are here at this time for a soul purpose and experience, and everyone's come for different things, and you will know what you've come for. But at the end of the day, with all the chaos that's happening outside in the world, energy is everything. So it all comes from the collective energy. If we rise in the collective energy in the way we treat people, in the authenticity of our relationships, then that actually ripples out, and that changes everything in the material world, the 3D experience. So anything, basically, to sum it up, that is not authentic is going to be shown and dissolved and moved away. And people will be people talk about, karma's coming back and all that. And yeah, and that does happen, because what we put out does come back. However, we can easily change that. We can forgive ourselves, forgive other people, treat people better, and we can be, but the main thing is to be authentic with ourselves. And if you are living any part of your life that's not authentic, with just this will do because I make money, or this will do because I'm comfortable in this relationship, he or she pisses me off, but okay, I guess this is where I am. All of that is all old frequency. It's all the old template, and none of that is going to survive. And it's only getting more intense. I was going to say intense, there's no word. More intense. And we're in March 2023, and as we move through this year, things are really going to amp up more. So be authentic with yourself, and it's got to start from in here, and that's where we make those decisions. So for me, just to finish off, because you guys probably don't want to hear about my personal stuff, but just on a finished off level, with these things I've noticed, for me it's been making choices to, and I feel like the last 3 weeks I have completely feel like I've fully stepped into my soul path more in putting myself first. So I was trying to do my soul path, and then I was also trying to be there for others. And I've been doing that for a while, but I didn't realize, I thought I'd let go of a lot of stuff, but there was still things that I just felt like I had to be there to help, or be there to I don't know, be a part of, and I don't. There was it was mainly with family. So for me, it was letting go of that, letting go of letting my family live their lives and do their things without them being as codependent on me, and realizing that because I was allowing that, I actually really wasn't putting my soul path, myself, 100% real, like first. I knew, I kept thinking, I don't want to be doing this, I need to be here, but I still kept navigating my life that way, to be there just in case. So it took me quite a few realizations over here on this trip, and and some heartbreaks and tears, and which was okay because I was releasing. We have to feel it and not avoid it, and that's how we let things go. They have to come up. We have to feel that hurt sometimes and let it go, because then it's released. And what I found is that when we have expectations of outcomes, that sets us up for the fall, right? It should be unconditional. So as long as you don't have the expectations. And another quick thing I just wanted to say is that the more you put of your life in the hands of somebody else, of an outcome. So if say you're working with someone on something and they're not doing their job, and you're relying and waiting on that before you can move forward, or that's just an example, right? So anything where you're relying on someone else to come through with something, if you're doing it jointly or whatever, for you to move forward, and you're feeling that you're stuck because you can't, if you're relying on that, you need to get rid of that. So if you've lent someone money and you're waiting on it to come back so that you can then go on and do something, don't lend people money anymore. Don't put yourself in any situation where you're reliant upon someone acting on something for you to move forward in your life. So the more that we can in our lives, the more that we can iron out those things, the more that we can actually just have that freedom of just running it and controlling it ourselves, where we're not actually dependent on an external person or situation or outcome, then the more we have the freedom to move forward, but also action things in it to bring in the abundance and for more abundance. So don't ever put yourself anymore moving forward. Don't ever put yourself in a situation where you are reliant upon something else to be able to follow your path, be abundant, bring in money, place to live, whatever it is. Set yourself up so that you are controlling that yourself. Obviously open to receive any unconditional help or money if someone's giving it to you or whatever, that sort of stuff. But anything that has strings attached or that you need to rely on something, get rid of all that. Because as we move forward, people that you might be attached to or working to or in a job, they're in a different frequency than you, so you're not going to be able to move up and move forward if you're being brought down. You could be working in a job situation where it's an old 3D system, right? And you're just not going to fit in there anymore. it's just not going to be a vibe, you know, because you're moving up and you want to lead from your heart and soul, and that ain't that. So you need to leave. You need to leave your job and follow your guidance. And obviously go into your heart and soul and use your, you know, intuition and guidance always as to which way. But don't be afraid. These energies are going to support people doing that, but not half-assing it. Like I've been doing a bit of it sometimes, and others are half-assing. Okay, we've really got to step in it now. Yeah. So, all right, well, I'm going to go. It's 25 minutes. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. Take care. Do check out my community posts. That's pretty cool now because I don't do a lot on YouTube anymore. But I will be putting some community posts. I'm getting back to my writing more. Got some other ideas. So, yeah. All right, so take care. Peace, everyone. And love you guys. And I'll talk to you when I talk to you. Okay. Bye. Take care.